Haunted place number 1. Gettysburg College. Spaces that once bore witness to terrible acts of violence can exude an uncanny malaise, a sense that something's not quite right. Such is the case of Gettysburg College, America's most haunted college and also the site of the bloody Battle of Gettysburg. As John, the 2004 graduate of the college, comments in the Gettysburgian, everyone here has their own ghost story. Students or teachers, they have some kind of experience with a ghost or weird occurrence like that. The spectral energies at the site are perhaps unsurprising given its history as a war hospital during the Battle of Gettysburg, part of American Civil War. Famous ghosts who continue to stalk the passages of Penn Hall include the armed lone sentinel and the blue boy, an orphan tragically frozen to death. Number 3. Bangalore International Airport. Bangalore, the IT hub of the country, which is also known for its pleasant climate and the budding startup companies, has some spooky stories to tell as well. The tech town is often visited by many professionals for work, and if you have been to Bangalore by flight, this story will send a chill down your spine. Rumor has it that Bangalore International Airport or the Kempegowda International Airport is in fact haunted. The story became such a rage a few years ago that even local media covered it extensively. While the buzz has died down, the story persists. The airport is one of the busiest places in any city, and if that too has a spooky twist, things can go awry, right? The stories of haunting at Bangalore International Airport started one night when one of the pilots of an approaching aircraft saw a woman wearing a white sari standing on the runway. They asked the airport staff to take her away, thinking she was lost. But as soon as someone got there, she disappeared. But the pilots aren't the only ones who spot this mysterious lady on the runway. Many other employees later reported this woman in other parts of the airport too. The scare of the lady in white grew to such an extent that many workers who were in cargo department refused to take up night shifts, as they often found something eerie in that building, which was a bit away from the main airport building. The airport authorities and air traffic control denied the presence of any ghost on the premises, but those who saw it had a different story to tell. The matter has died down now, but those who know about this story cannot help but wonder if they will get a glimpse of the lady in white on their late night flight from Bangalore International Airport. Bangalore International Airport is in Devanahalli village, north of Bangalore city. Flights of airlines like Air Asia, Jet Airways, Air Pegasus and Air India fly here. Number 4. Mulcha Mahal, Delhi. Delhi is home to a number of haunted places like the Sanjeevan Cantonment Area, Agressanti Bauli, and Feroz Shah Kotla, among others. And Mulcha Mahal is one of them. Did you know that Mulcha Mahal is restricted area and any person who is seen here can be shot dead? The reason for this is not a ghost, but the people who still live in this house. It may be called Mulcha Mahal, but it is in tatters, and no one in their right mind would stay here. But the two people who do never leave it, and the reason is just as sad. Mulcha Mahal was given by the government to Princess Vilayat Mahal, a descendant of the royal family of Awadh, but before she occupied it, it was a hunting lodge built by Feroz Shah Tughlaq. Princess Vilayat's property was seized by the British and she was homeless with two of her kids. She fought with the Indian government to get her land back, but nothing happened. In her protest, she landed with her kids at a railway station in Delhi and occupied the VIP lounge there. They lived there for 9 years before the government decided to sanction her Malcha Mahal. The princess, along with her kids, landed in Malcha Mahal only to find out how sorry the state of the place was. Infested with insects, dilapidated and run down, it was completely unfit for any human. One fine day, the princess was so depressed, she committed suicide by eating crushed diamonds, leaving behind her 2 kids, dogs, and some gold. The young children clung to her body and slept with it for days before it was discovered. It was then cremated near the house itself. The children grew up in the same house without any help from anyone and haven't left it since then. They continue to live there without interacting with any other living soul. The dogs protect their house from any intruders or thieves who have in the past tried to loot the place. The eerie story of how these 2 humans have survived here for so long in a place that doesn't have any electricity, water supply, and is surrounded by trees in a forest is chilling. They wear only black robes, and the brother sometimes goes on his bicycle to buy food and supplies. They talk to no one, and there is a board outside Malcha Mahal that clearly states that trespassers will be shot. Being a restricted area, no one goes here. Number 5. Doe Hill, Kurseong. Not many in India have heard about Doe Hill, which is in Kurseong, in West Bengal, a hill station not too far away from Darjeeling. Doe Hill boasts of natural beauty including many tea gardens, waterfalls, valleys, and botanical gardens. Doe Hill also has a Sebastopol museum, and it is pleasant all year round. However, Doe Hill is better known for its haunted tales than a hill station and a vacation getaway. Don't believe me? A quick Google search will reveal more spooky stories than places to visit. So much so that the locals living here have come to terms with the fact that the place is haunted and share stories or their experiences with those interested. Indeed, Doe Hill has many spooky stories, and each is haunting than the other. There is one of a headless boy who roams in the forest, and then there is another of a woman who roams around in a sari. Doe Hill also houses Victoria Boys High School, which is over a century old and is believed to be haunted. Locals say that they can hear footsteps and shrieks and laughters of children even when the school is shut down during the vacations. They believe the spirits of some children roam in the school. As the sun sets, one can feel the smoke in the air. It would be wise to stay indoors or go out with a local if you want to explore the hill station at night. Avoid going into the forest, as that is where these things appear often. If you are very intrigued, ask a local to share more stories, and we are sure that they will come with something even more chilling for you. How much of it is true, I can't say, but those who have experienced the presence of something supernatural cannot really forget about it. Doe Hill is in Kurseong in West Bengal, and is a small hill station which is about 30 km away from Darjeeling. Number 7. Bhangarh Fort, Rajasthan. Bhangarh is perhaps one of the most haunted places in India. It is in Rajasthan and has been declared an unsafe place to visit at night, even by the government. The Archaeological Survey of India, or ASI body, has even put up a sign outside Bhangarh Fort to warn tourists and locals alike to not enter its premises after sunset or before sunrise. Even though the government may not openly acknowledge the presence of any supernatural part here, the board says that it and is enough proof that there is something that shouldn't be played with. Bhangarh Fort in its heyday was one of the architectural marvels of the country. It was built in 1573 by Mark Singh I for his grandson Madho Singh I, but it was named after his grandfather Bhan Singh, hence the name Bhangarh. Dotted with temples, havelis and play palaces, Bhangarh was a flourishing kingdom. but it soon saw its downfall, and since then it lies in the ruins of the abandoned, with nothing but spirits roaming the fort. Tourists who come here can't help but admire the architecture of whatever is left after the place, and imagine what it must have been like in earlier days. However, it's a spooky sight that draws their attention and forces them to go back before it's dark. Why is this sign here, and why does this place lie abandoned? There are two stories around this legend. According to the first story, the reason for the destruction and the desolation of Bhangarh Fort is due to the curse of an ascetic. It's believed that once Baba Balnath lived near the fort, and he had one condition, which was that no building should be higher than his house and cast a shadow on it. If this would happen, he proclaimed that there would be destruction. The local king ignored the ascetic's rants, and sure enough, the curse came true and led to the present state of Bhangarh Fort. There's another legend about a wizard who lived in Bhangarh being infatuated with the princess and wanting to have her. He was adept in magic and created a potion that would cast a spell and attract her towards him. One day, he swapped her perfume for this potion, but before she could fall in love with him, she learned of his evil plans. So she plotted another one to kill him. She poured the potion on a boulder when she saw the wizard, and it rolled and crushed her because of the spell on it. But with his dying breath, the wizard cursed Bhangarh and said it will be destructed soon. And also, the Mughals invaded the kingdom and destroyed the city. They may have died, but the spirit of these people, including the wizards and the princess, roam the fort's interiors. They don't let anyone inside, and if someone does go in, they don't come back alive. The spirits are so strong that there is even a signboard warning people not to go inside post dark. The fort is in Alwar district in Rajasthan. You can visit the fort until 6 p.m. every day. Number 8. Fern Hill Hotel, Ooty. This hotel, now shut down due to the incidents of alleged haunting, shot to fame due to a curious incident that occurred on the sets of Raz. Choreographer Saroj Khan and her troupe had settled down to sleep one night when somebody began rearranging furniture in the room above. Soon the screeching and snapping sounds rose to such a pitch that sleep became a distant prospect. Attempts to contact the reception desk went in vain because the telephone line was dead. Finally, some of the frustrated crew members went down to complain, only to have the hotel staffers point out that there was no floor above theirs. Next is Khoni Nala. The name itself sounds scary enough. There's a stretch on Jammu-Kashmir highway just before passing through the Banihal tunnel, which is infamously known as Khoni Nala. The place got its name because of several road accidents that happened here, and the entire stretch is believed to be haunted by otherworldly spirits. People claim to have seen a woman clad in a black sari carrying a baby in her hand and asking for a lift. If people ignore her, she curses them and they eventually die in road accidents. After these, there are some facts about Halloween that you should know. So, fact number 1. Some believe there are different types of ghosts. Orbs, for example, appear as floating balls of light. Poltergeists or noisy ghosts can touch objects in the physical world. They like to make noise and stir up mischief. Other ghosts can appear as mist or fog. Another, called the funnel ghost, shows up as blurry spots in photographs. Fact number 2. Do you know that why does it seem that ghosts prefer night time? So, some say that when fewer electronic devices are used, we are more likely to notice spirits in our home. That is usually at night. And in some folklore, they refer to the witching hour. That is a time of night where ghosts and witches are believed to be more powerful. Fact number 3. What do some people claim to be the telltale signs of a ghost? Here's a list of 6 of the most common myths that there may be a ghost nearby. Room gets cold. Second, pets behave strangely. Third, doors open on their own. Fourth, you hear whispering. Fifth, creaking stairs. And sixth one is unexplained smells. So that's it about this video. If you liked it, then please like it, share it with others and subscribe my channel. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.